Well, the Lakers are off to a 14-4 record, and I'm not joking when I tell you that they have the best pick and roll offense of all time. No, not simply this season or last season, but the best pick and roll offense of all time. Up until this point, the Lakers are averaging 1.1 points per possession off of pick and roll plays. And to absolutely no surprise at all, both Luka Doncic and Austin Reaves are in the top 5 in pick and roll points per game, or rather the top 6. Luka scoring 13.4 points per game as a pick and roll ball handler, Austin scoring 9.4, that combining for over 22 pick and roll points per game, nearly 23 of them per game. Not to mention that Austin shooting 54.1% on pick and roll plays, Luka shooting 48.5%, both ranking in the 90th percentile plus, of which there are only 5 players in the entire NBA that currently qualify that are in the 90th percentile in pick and roll ball handling. And like I said, that's currently the best pick and roll offense of all time. The Lakers averaging 1.11 points per possession is more than a 10-point per possession more than any team has ever averaged before. The second place team being the Knicks last season, or also tying with the Portland Trail Blazers back in 2021. I know that might not seem like much and might not sound like a big difference, but 0.1 points per possession is a massive difference in regard to either first place or second place. If you take that throughout an entire 48-minute game, that would translate to over 10 points per game more. So again, it might not seem like much, but it definitely is, and it's really a telling of how good the Lakers offense has been out of pick and roll play in general. Whether it's a 5-out offense pick and roll, which is really their bread and butter, especially now with LeBron being back. Between the three of himself, Luka, and Austin, they're absolutely deadly out of high pick and roll play. With the 5-out offense around them, with the motion they generate within it, doing some different things which we'll get to in a bit here, they become absolutely unstoppable. Like I said, 1.11 points per possession out of pick and roll play, translating to 22.2 points per game in general out of pick and roll play, shooting 49.5% out of pick and roll plays, that translating to a scoring frequency of 50.5% out of pick and roll plays, meaning they score more than half the time they run a pick and roll play. Absolutely insane, and leading to them being in the 100th percentile in pick and roll offense. Absolutely elite and pretty much unheard of at this point. Like I said, they have the most efficient and effective pick and roll offense of all time, scoring the most that any team has ever scored out of pick and roll offense, despite running it less than a few other teams, less than a team like the Cleveland Cavaliers for example, less than a team like the Charlotte Hornets even, but they're simply much more effective and pretty much unstoppable out of pick and roll offense at this point. I mean, behind Luka Doncic, Austin Reaves, and now LeBron James with him being back too, they have really no answer, or rather their opponents have no answer for their pick and roll offense. And no, it's not simply Luka Doncic dribbling and one guy setting a pick for him and everyone else watching them. They've actually added a lot more to it that's made it the unstoppable force that it's become at this point, with a lot of different options within it. For example, early in their game last night against Dallas, here we have Luka Doncic and DeAndre Ayton running a high pick and roll, with all three of LeBron, Austin, and Hachimura being on the outside the 3-point line, aka the 5-out offense. But as soon as Luka gets into the pick and roll, after he runs past DeAndre Ayton who set the pick, then we have a backdoor cut along the baseline from LeBron here, that Luka throws him a lob to and LeBron throws it down. This being one option out of the pick and roll, but definitely not the only option, as a little bit later we see a different variation of it, that's also very different and very intriguing too. Here we have Luka with the ball again at the 3-point line, but rather than immediately go into a high pick and roll with DeAndre Ayton, they wait for Austin Reaves to make a cut through the middle, Ayton setting a pick for him, this to attract attention away from these two, and to kind of free up the middle for them, and really to make the defense make a choice, as after they go into their high pick and roll here, Ayton setting the pick for Luka Doncic, Luka splitting the defense here between Daniel Gafford and Max Christie. The help defender here at the bottom instead chooses to guard Ayton and prevent the lob threat, and therefore giving Luka a wide open lane to the rim. But even if he would commit to Austin Reaves who made the cut, guarding him at the 3-point line, that would give them a different option. You know, there's simply nothing he could do in my opinion. Either prevent the lob, commit to Luka on defense, or guard Austin Reaves at the 3-point line. Something that Najee Marshall was then tasked with, but really made it pretty much impossible for him as Jake LaRavia moved along the wing to further spread him out and further spread out their defense. Pretty much an unguardable play with Luka Doncic at the helm as the primary pick and roll ball handler. Because even when it's not Luka scoring the ball, the attention that he draws on the court and demands from the defense is pretty much a guarantee to get somebody open within their 5-out high pick and roll offense, literally every single time. Like on this play for example, Luka running a high pick and roll here with Jackson Hayes, being guarded by Najee Marshall, Daniel Gafford being the defender on Jackson Hayes, and rather than going into a deep drop, which obviously doesn't work too well on Luka Doncic, he tries to hedge a little bit here and pick off the pass going to Jackson Hayes, but in trying to do that, falling behind Hayes, therefore making Brandon Williams here be the help defender at the rim, coming off of Gabe Vincent at the corner, therefore Hayes having a wide open pass to Gabe Vincent, something that he's actually done really well within their offense. After getting the ball from Luka Doncic, he does not simply get tunnel vision, not only on this play but throughout the entirety of this season and late last season, so I really do have to compliment him, finding Gabe Vincent open for the 3-point shot, which Gabe Vincent then knocks down. Another part of their pick and roll offense that's pretty much unstoppable from Luka Doncic and the attention that he demands every single time. And heck, why even think about overcomplicating it at that point? If you're gonna have an offense that is pretty much a guaranteed open shot, let alone an open layup or 3-point shot every single time down the court, why do anything different? They don't have to with Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, and LeBron James being able to operate their offense out of the high pick and roll with at least 2 of those guys in the court at pretty much all times to them. They're going to have a threat that demands attention and therefore generates an open shot 99.9% of the time. And the numbers do back that up again as I showed before. But even apart from that, they do get a bit more creative to keep the defense on their toes and keep them guessing, not only with Luka Doncic as the ball handler, but again with both Austin and LeBron as the ball handler too. And here we have a really fun pick and roll variation, not quite a pick and roll but rather a pick and pop play to get LeBron the ball in the high post. Austin having the ball, LeBron sending a little light pick to fade into the post, Austin giving it up to him, but that's only a diversion as the real part of this play and the point of it is to get Luka Doncic open for a 3-point shot. As LeBron gets the ball on the weak side in the very high post here, nearly at the 3-point line, DeAndre Ayton sets a little pin down screen on Max Christie, which Anthony Davis fails to recognize and pick up. He falls into a drop, therefore freeing up Luka Doncic for a wide open 3-point shot that LeBron puts on a timely pass and gives it to him for a wide open catch and shoot that he knocks down. So again, another variation out of a pick and roll play per se, rather a pick and roll ball handling play that's simply a diversion that is able to get them open for a high quality look that directly goes to Luka Doncic without even being the primary ball handler. And guess what? Everything I just showed you is from a 5-minute time frame of their game from just last night in only just the first quarter. Now imagine we go through the entirety of this game, the entirety of their offense in all 14 of their wins, whether it's with Luka as the primary ball handler, him playing off the ball, Austin playing on the ball or off the ball, even LeBron their past 4 games. There's a bunch of different variations and pretty much all of them have generated an open look and have been some high quality offense for their team and some really difficult offense to stop for their opponents, which is not going to go away anytime soon. No, it's not simply a 1-game, 5-game, or even a 10-game trend. It's been throughout the entire season. I mean, their defense might be a bit up and down, but their offense definitely is not. If you're talking about the entire season, the Lakers currently rank 6th in offensive rating, or if you're talking about the past 5 games, they have been the best offense in the entire league. On top of that, their starting lineup is the 3rd best offense throughout the entire season, the best offense in that 5-game time frame. Obviously with Luka playing, obviously with Austin playing, and now with LeBron being back too, it's at a point where they might be the best offense in the entire NBA, and without a doubt the best pick and roll offense in the entire NBA. Like I said, currently the best pick and roll offense of all time in NBA history, which is kind of hard to believe, but really not that hard if you've actually been watching them play. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying this is the only offense they do run, or should run for that fact. Obviously it's been very efficient and definitely has become their go-to to initiate their offense, which it should be. But apart from high pick and roll offense or 5-out high pick and roll offense, or some different variations within it, they also run 4-out offense out of their horn set, different sets that I could point to here and there, but like I said, their high pick and roll offense is definitely the best in the entire league right now. Definitely is working well for them, is pretty much unstoppable to even try to contain throughout an entire game with Luka Doncic on the court or even off the court with Austin Reeves and or LeBron running it. And at this point, I think they really found a rhythm within it. No, it's not only Luka benefiting from it. Yes, he's leading the league in scoring, so obviously he gets plenty of points from it. But like I said, Austin's benefiting from it, LeBron's benefit from it, both Rui Hachimura and DeAndre Ayton are greatly benefiting from it. Hachimura leading their team in 3-point shots and is currently the leader in their team in wide open shots per game, many of which come from Luka Doncic out of pick and roll plays. Much like last night, finding in for wide open shots in the corner, which he knocked down 4 of, or DeAndre Ayton getting some easy buckets at the rim, both via lob passes and simply dump offs at the rim. Whether it's from Luka, LeBron, or Austin, he's benefiting from that. Guys off the bench are benefiting from it, albeit not nearly as much. Like I showed you on a play earlier with Gabe Vincent getting an open 3-point shot, Jake LaRavia has gotten many of them, and their entire team has obviously benefit from an offense that's one of the best in the entire NBA, and literally the best of all time in pick and roll offense up until this point. So with all of that being said, what do you guys think? How do you feel about the Lakers offense so far and really with their pick and roll offense? Did you know that it was this good? Do you think that this is maintainable for them? And simply how do you feel about it? And what are your takeaways with it so far? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But I think that'll pretty much do it for this one. And if you enjoyed the video, then I'll greatly appreciate it if you dropped a like, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit that notification bell to never miss out when I upload a video. But as always, thank you for watching and have a great day or night.